If you have 5 minutes, you can absolutely figure out how your e-commerce site is doing, whether or not it is really well optimized or you got some work to do and where to focus. This can tell you, are you good on mobile? Are you good on desktop? Do you have traffic sources that work well and others that don't? Basically, you can tell exactly where to focus and where is safe. And I'm going to show you how in the next 300 seconds or less. Let's go. All right, guys, let's set up an Intra-Site Funnel in 5 minutes or less. So let's dive in here. We are in GA4. We are in the Custom Explorations tab for privacy sake here. I'll block out the top level for the brand, but we are going to choose to set up a funnel exploration. So this one is pretty straightforward. So I'll show you how we operate with this, where we set it up on a tab by tab basis, looking at only two behaviors in isolation. So that could be usually how we set this up is we'll start with landing to product view, and we try to make this pretty holistic. And then, so landing to view item. We are almost always using the standard GA4 enhanced e-commerce events so that everything is out of the box as much as possible. It works across all sites, dimensions, whatever you need it to do. It just gives you the best chance of success. We will hit, I will hit apply. I'll remove any dimensions right now. So we'll label this landing to product view. All right. And then we'll repeat this for product view to add to cart, cart to checkout, and then checkout to purchase. So let's product view to add to cart. This part is pretty easy. We're just going to come in here, add to cart. And there are a bunch of other steps where you can look in isolation. There are like view item list events. And if it's set up properly where you can start to really hone in, you can add in custom events and really get clever with it. But this is the core process we would be using. So let's do cart to checkout. And each time you are just coming in here with a step and begin checkout and apply. All right, one more, and we are just about done. All right, and then update the steps. Purchase. All right, and then you can see what that looks like. So as far as dimensions go, you can get as clever with this as you want. Generally, what I will recommend is what I'll show you here. I like to use session default channel group, and then we'll add in session source and session medium. Some of how this is set up gets a little difficult to apply those, so you kind of have to go in isolation, but we have that. Let's go landing page plus query string. New versus returning can be helpful. So these right here, I'll remove first user medium. That is a really good jumping off point to where you can come in here and look, say it is PDP to add to cart, and you want to see, okay, how's this looking? How does this compare desktop versus mobile? And you can see, surprisingly, desktop does far worse than mobile here. So there are some desktop users that are clearly not being motivated the same way that mobile is. If you want to go a layer deeper, I would recommend you come in and filter, and you could do something like session default channel group, exactly matches, and just look at, say, direct traffic. So the most like for like of an audience, and really start to see what this looks like. And for what should be the same type of user, you can see that a desktop user adds to cart at 9% of the time when they view a product page, whereas mobile is 13.5%. So something about the mobile experience, despite being ostensibly the same user, is more motivating to them, which is interesting. But repeat that process. You kind of just use those segments and dimensions. as a way to come in and filter down, really start to isolate in problems and look at this very, very narrowly. But that is your quick, less than 5 minute setup on the Intra-Site Funnel. This is a great jumping off point. It can absolutely tell you what's working and what's not. If you have questions, hit me up, let me know. But this is an absolutely fantastic starting point for most brands to understand how their e-commerce site is doing. Thanks.